All right. Good morning. I am coming on to, excuse me, hopefully debunk this lovely fake news headline for clicks and everything else. So, if you are looking at my screen right now, you are seeing the lovely headline basically saying that people with good credit scores may be penalized. Let me explain something to you. That is not the case. And the fact that these are coming out literally right before May 1st when the changes should be going into effect is crazy to me, because in lenders, we have been talking about this and have known about this for several weeks. And a lot of these have already been implemented because of how we have to submit them to both Fannie and Freddie Mac. So there's a lot of things going on in the background that consumers don't need to know, and really they don't care to know because it doesn't affect them, right? But this headline, are you doing this? Are you charging me more? Da 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 da. That's not what's going on. If you read this whole thing, it basically says like these fees and that, and these LLPAs. LLPAs, what it is it's a loan level price adjustment. If you look at a lot of my other videos, I always state that a interest rate either has a credit, a zero, or you're going to be charged, which are discount points. Okay. So normally those things exist. And when we had, 2 and 3% interest rates, they really did exist. You would have a credit option, a zero option, and a discount point option for you to buy down your interest rate further. With the current market, there's no longer that option. We very rarely even get something called a par rate, which is your zero amount, right? But they're talking about loan level pricing adjustments and how they come up with those numbers. That's literally what it is. And what Fannie and Freddie Mac did was that they cut the cost of what it is if you have a lower FICO score. Those people were getting hit so much that it would truly affect the qualification of their loan. And if you guys truly think about it, and I'm not trying to be political or anything like that, but if you guys truly think about the types of people that are in there, you can imagine the lawsuits that have been going on, right? So Fannie and Freddie and the government initially are just trying to make it easier for lower level income, lower level credit people to get into a home. That is the main point of all of this. So let me explain to you what that means and show you exactly what that means, okay? So here's our lovely article with, our fake news headline, which it's just causing you to get a click, right? You're going to click on it and read it and be like, oh my God. And then you're going to come to your lovely educating loan officer and she's going to explain it to you. So initially, this is what we used to look at. Now, I know these numbers to you make absolutely zero sense. But here are your credit scores right in this area. You have a 740, a 720, and they all go in ranges, right? So previous to May 1st, which they actually already are in, everything's going on right now. Just they now want to call it because it was supposed to be May 1st. That's actually when we had to deliver them by. So a lot of the changes had already been implemented for weeks. So when you were at a 620 previous to the May 1st deal, you were automatically being hit with 3.75%. That's a lot of money, guys. So let me break it down for you. Let's just say you have a $300,000 house, right, that you're going to purchase, and you're going to get hit with this lovely 3.75% on your rate number one. That's number one. So you're going to go times 3.75%. And that's $11,000 for somebody who already has a very low credit score. Not to mention that there are additional overlays. So this is if you're putting down 3%. This is if you're putting down 5% or more, right? So 3%, 3.75%, 3.75%, and it honestly didn't matter whether you were putting down 5% or 4.99%. 4.99% or 97%. It only started changing when you put down 5% or more. Then you get a slight break at 3.25. Not to mention there are other things that add to it. So if you had a manufactured home, you would add another 0.5% to this cost. That's a lot of money. We were already looking at $11,000. But now you want to add that 3.75 plus another half. So you're looking at 4.25. 4.25 on a $300,000 house is $12,000 already for the cost of your interest rate. And we haven't even looked at what your actual interest rate would be, right? So they changed this to make it a little easier for lower credit score people. So now, when you are at a lower credit score, you're not being penalized as much. And the thing about it is that you guys, you were already being penalized to begin with. So what did they do? They chopped yours if you had really good credit at this 740, because 740, guys, is freaking amazing credit, just to give you guys a heads up. But they started at 0.75, and now what did they do? They lowered it to an eighth. So no, these things are not here to jack you, right? They're not here to steal your money. They're not getting a penalty for having fantastic credit. They're really not. And I mean, we were looking at 740. Okay, so it went to a half a point. I was looking at the wrong one. So we went from 0.75 to 0.50, which is a quarter better increase. And then they said, okay, if you have, that's until you're a 759. If you have a 760 or a 779 or a 780 and above, you get even better pricing. So they made it better for them as well. They're giving you a lesser cost when you have phenomenal credit sitting at 780 or above. So no, you guys didn't get penalized. So then I want to show you guys what exactly it looks like when you're looking at a rate deal. So I have all of my information in here. There's nothing crazy. You're not going to see my social security number. You're not going to see any of that, right? But I want you guys to see what happens. So when I put in my information, I'm going to say my FICO score is, we're going to say a 640. Okay, I'm going to do this twice too. So we have a 640, we have no subordinate financing. I'm putting down 5% on purpose, plainly because that will allow me to go FHA and conventional. So when I now go ahead and do this, and impounds are in here as well, just to make it a little fairer. So when I run this, oh, I'm sorry, it needs a DTI. DTI means debt to income ratio. So I'm going to say we're pretty normal at a 45% debt to income ratio. So when I do this, oops, it's not a refi. Watch it not work for me now because it wants to be a hater, but it's going to work. I have faith. So when I put all that information in, here are all of the lovely loan programs that I can offer Miss Santana Sepulveda with her 45% debt to income ratio, her 5% down, and her 640 FICO score. We're going to take FHA, the regular one. We're going to take a Fannie Mae and a Freddie Mac. So Freddie Mac 30-year fixed, okay? And then we have a Fannie Mae 30-year fixed. We're not going to do Home Ready or 97% because those are special programs for income limitations and for putting 3% down if you're a first-time home buyer. So we're going to take those out. We're not going to do that, but we are going to do this Fannie Mae 30-year fixed that is just owner-occupied. So all three of these are owner-occupied homes. You have two conventional and you have government. So let's see if I can, click on it and have it work. There it goes. Okay. So here's my side-by-side comparison. Okay. So the top of my rate sheet is 7.875 for a conventional Freddie Mac or a conventional Fannie Mae. Okay. All of them are coming with costs already. They all have a cost already. Partially because of my FICO score, partially because of the down payment, but they already have one. So if I just do all of these across the board, just to see exactly how it comes up, look, this is what we're looking at. So for a rate of a 7.125 across the board, I am going to be charged 1.125 going FHA, 2.125 going Freddie Mac, and 2.125 going Fannie Mae. And there is no credit score hit. So, I mean, you guys, you need to ask the questions and not be so caught off guard with these headlines. These headlines are there for a reason. They want to catch your attention. They want you to read the article. Ask somebody who is truly, truly informed on how it's going to affect you. So this is a 640 score, right? Let's make some changes. So let's make some changes, and let's give me a 750 FICO score. Okay, let's give me a 750 FICO score, and we'll do the exact same 3 programs, just so you guys to see, because we were being charged 2.125 for conventional. So now, when I take my FHA, my Freddie Mac owner occupied, and my Fannie Mae owner occupied, and I do a side-by-side comparison again. And what we're looking at is the cost of the rate. That's what we're looking at. That's what we need to focus on. So we have our 7.125, still the top of the rate sheet for FHA. You still have your 3, and you see how these numbers went down. FHA did not, because they're not doing the same thing as conventional. But conventional, the better the FICO score, look, the lower the cost. So please don't let these headlines derail you from purchasing a home. It's unnecessary. Ask the questions, share with your friends, make sure you are talking to somebody who truly understands what is going on, because these headlines are enough to freak anybody out. And yes, interest rates are back to normal. I'm not even going to say high, because they truly are back to normal, guys. When I bought my first home in 2006, I had a first and a second mortgage, and the first mortgage was at an 8.4%. We're not even there yet. We haven't even hit 8 at the top of our rate sheet yet. So make sure that you guys are doing your own due diligence, doing your homework, talking to the right person before it stops you from buying a home. If you guys have questions, always feel free to reach out. I am always here to help, and I hope you guys have a great Tuesday.